What up? What up, YouTube? Back at it again. And Justin wearing my favorite motherfucking shirt. Let's go. We gonna show it off. We gonna show some merch off early, man, just because.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta rip the homie, bro. Been rocking around all day.
I'm a back slacker. I'm a back slacker.
The back slacker one, yeah. Look, and it's still nice and crispy. You know, I've had this for like what, three years now, 4 years.
Man. It's still looking crispy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an original back slacker, man. Shout out to only Mike with Banana Bread Reptiles. Yeah.
Let's go.
He's jumping off. Salute. And representing for the homie Big Double L and Randall number 6, Linworm Exotics. Definitely not slacking.
Let's go.
Definitely not slacking on
Woo, woo. Come on.
And that's my homeboy Fred MTZ Pythons. I'm gonna see him at Fair this weekend. He's gonna be in the building up in Georgia. On. Yeah.
And that's that dry fit hat too. That shit looks fresh.
Yeah. Just dope.
Gotta leave it a banana bread. He always be having them hats, man. Them things don't be on point every time.
You know, he gives you little goodie packs with it, little goodies with it. Oh man, how was your weekend?
Good. Definitely can't complain. Can't complain at all. Stay busy. That's for sure. Taking care of animals. Even today I cleaned some hatchling tubs, some rats. That don't ever stop, you know. Normal. Yeah. Then back at it again tomorrow. How about you?
Oh man, good weekend. 3-day weekend. Since Georgia was scared of the weather, they gave us the day off today. So and half a day tomorrow. Don't gotta start work till 11 o'clock tomorrow. So come on. Come on. So that was dope, man. Having 3 days off. So I just got a lot of rest.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
And next weekend is Steer. So it's Bob's Blue Show, Southeast Reptile Expo. So you know, people gonna be in there deep AF. So I should be in the building. But, things everywhere for tapping into no balls, just things, you perverts. Because I know the people I know the people like, yo, hold up. Where the things at? Where the balls at? Get out of here, man. So get your minds out together, man. Bunch of perverts. You know how y'all do it in the snake world. So before we get any further, we're gonna drop this sponsorship video. Oh, my cat's talking. Cat, get out of here, cat. She can't allow it over here. We're gonna drop this sponsorship video.
Come on.
Linworm Exotics specializes in a multitude of reptiles such as ball pythons, dual boas, coastal rosy boas, and false water cobras, to name a few. They are dedicated to providing the public with well-adjusted animals with superior quality. Follow them on Instagram and Morph Market. Black Box Reptile Cages should be your go-to for high-quality reptile enclosures and rack systems. They offer versatile hatchling and adult racks that work with both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, as well as a wide range of terrestrial, arboreal, and bioactive cages. Located in Beaufort, Georgia, Black Box Reptile Cages offers local pickup as well as ship and freight. Check them out at blackboxcages.com and use code WhiskeyBomb25 for 5% off. Selected Reptiles works with a wide range of genetic combos, including Hypo-VPI Xanthic, DG-VPI Xanthic, and Zebra, but where they stand out is their work with Monsoon, Monarch, Sunset, and other high-end morphs. In addition to reptiles, they produce premium feeder rodents, delivering to Florida, Georgia, and North and South Carolina. Make sure to use promo code WhiskeyBomb5 for 5% off any snake. Check them out on Morph Market or reach out directly. From fur to feathers, Fuzzy Acres has your feeder needs covered. Whether you're looking for frozen rats, bulk rabbits, or harder to find feeders like quail and guinea pigs, they've got the stock serious keepers rely on. Visit fuzzyacres.com for clean, healthy feeders that are frozen and shipped with care. Remember to use code WhiskeyBomb10 to save 10% on any order, and as always, enjoy free shipping on all orders over $300. Grant and Mary of Rec Room Snakes have been breeding ball pythons and Woma pythons for over a decade. They're staples within the ball python realm, and most notably known for their work with the paint mutation and putting it to multiple codoms and recessives to truly unlock its potential. Please give them a follow on Morph Market to check out their incredible animals, and on Instagram to keep up with their projects. Ninja Balls is more than a breeder, he's a creator. He's the innovative thinker that brought you the Kiki Ball. He strives to make living works of art and improve upon them year in and year out. Follow him today on Instagram at Morph Market, and know that with each purchase you make, you're getting quality.
Bone Daddy Serpents is just getting started in the ball python industry, but he has major plans involving high-end genes such as Monarch and Sunset. Please keep an eye out on him because his passion and determination is going to take him very far within this industry.
To all the sponsors and the network sponsor, Shades of Blue. More, catch them on Instagram and YouTube. Morph Market as well. And salute to some people that's in this chizzy chat, man. My homegirl Brittany, first one in the building. Thanks for tapping in. Kyle, what it do, Kyle? Appreciate you. You got C-Dub in the building.
What up,
Sleepy in the building. Thanks for tapping in, Sleepy. Seth was good. Thanks for tapping in, Seth. Appreciate you. You got the homeboy Sal in the building. What it do? Appreciate you tapping in. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna bring out Riley from Riley's Reptiles.
Come on.
Come on. Let's give him a nice round of applause, please.
Come on. Little late. There was slow audience slow tonight.
What is going on, man?
Not much. Spent the last 6 hours cleaning baby colubrids for a friend, and
Kiko.
now I'm home.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I'm gonna take it down and it swaps over. But all right, if you mind introducing yourself, telling us the people what it is that you do.
Yeah. So I started, Riley as Reptiles, I don't know, like 12 years ago now, as an excuse to, share photos of my snakes on Instagram, as I was noticing that was becoming a trend. And then I decided I was going to start breeding. And then 12 years goes by, and I've been breeding snakes every year since. And now I'm doing it full time. I breed mostly carpet pythons, and I dabble in a few other species of colubrids and boas, and I've kind of been a fan of snakes as a whole. So where I can, I've dabbled in a lot of other species, but carpet pythons have always been the staple and the bulk of the population of my animals here. So
let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Was carpet pythons the first ones that you started off with, or that's just what you gravitated towards?
No, that's what I gravitated towards. My first snake ever was a California king snake. I got that when I was about 9 or 10 years old. And then I was keeping reptiles, but I didn't find out about the whole, hobby and industry side of it until like 2011, 2012. And that's when I decided I wanted to start breeding and figure it out. And I started with ball pythons and Brazilian rainbow boas, and quickly got out of ball pythons and started adding a bunch of other things, and kept rainbows. I bred rainbows for about 8 or 9 years. But yeah, as soon as I saw my first jungle carpet python, like an adult female in the back of a cage staring me in the face,
yeah,
I was ready. I was like, oh, game on. I want
that's
that.
it.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
I've since gone on to, learn about all the myriad of awesome species out there, but none, attract me as much as, a lot of the Australian and Indonesian stuff, and carpet pythons just have so much variety that my desire to just kind of keep a little bit of everything has blown up into a full-time obsession with those. So I keep a few things on the side where I can, but space is a limiting factor ultimately. So
There's a question in the chat. Do you have a YouTube channel?
yeah, it's just Riley's Reptiles on YouTube.
Come on. So I gotta ask. So you said the jungles was like your first interest. Now is that like still your out of the carpets your favorite? What's your top?
I mean, they're arguably a close second, but Papuan carpets. As soon as I found out those, they quickly captivated my focus for a variety of reasons. One being you can still get legal imports from Papua New Guinea through Indonesian legal exportation. Two, when I was first starting to get them, they were much more affordable than everything else. I used to be able to get fresh imports for $100.
Damn.
Yeah, now they're like 3 or 4 times that. And there's a ton of variety in color and pattern. Like I have some wild caught stuff that's striped. I have farm hatch stuff that's banded. I have
Let's go.
Multiple generation stuff that I've produced that is just wild looking. And everything in between, from like bright orange to like caramel to yellow and black to nearly all black. Like
I was gonna say, so you're definitely trying to pinpoint them out and kind of segregate all of them, because right now there's with the Poplins there's not much, and like you said, you see some for the patterns, the stripes, and more for like the more jungly looks pattern on some of them too as well. So that's kind of cool that you're pinpointing it and you're breaking it up, so then you could mark them all and say, here's these striped ones, here's your zebras more or less, that's looking smart, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a lot of different animals from a lot of different breeders, and then I have some farm hatch stuff and I have some wild caught stuff. So I've got a pretty diverse array of representation there. So it's, without really having to do much work, it's presented itself with all of these different looks and avenues to pursue as far as projects are concerned. So the potential is endless, and honestly, the amount of animals that I keep holding back is becoming a problem because of it.
It's not a bad thing though, it is. You got a bunch of them, but then you're able to pinpoint it, that's a smart way of going about it. It's freaking genius. I like it, and that's gonna make the populin, especially with the populins, it's gonna pinpoint. Now you have a whole bunch, like people want this color, like you said, more brighter orange or brighter reds in it. You can pinpoint it all. I like it. Absolutely. I'll definitely be a customer down the road. Come on.
So how many different species of carpets are there that you're working with?
I have everything that you can keep in the States. So the only ones that exist in Australia that don't exist in the States as far as taxonomy is concerned right now are the Morelia imbricata. I think their common name is like the southern carpets or something. So I've got Darwins, I've got diamonds, I've got Brettles, I've got Papuans, I've got jungles, I've got coastals, I've got Nova Guineas, I've got a few crosses. I think that's everything. So there's like 7 of them or 8, something like that.
It's crazy.
It's swapping.
You're just swapping that when you put the chat. What state are you in right now?
I'm in California.
Oh, all right. Chris,
born and raised.
Chris?
It can be problematic at times, but I stay away from the problem stuff.
You said you was how long did you last with the ball pythons?
Shoot. Okay, so my first season, so I was raising some for a number of years, thinking I would go longer than I did. I think I bred them for maybe 2 seasons. on my own, and then I had like a fleeting moment where I wanted to get back into them, and I got some more, but then I changed my mind again. But at my last full-time job for the last 5 years, I was managing a reptile shop, and in addition to like the retail side of things, I was also managing the back of house, which is all the breeding of everything. So I was in charge of breeding ball pythons, blackheads, womas, blood pythons, corn snakes, rainbow boas, milk snakes, king snakes, whatever we had,
Mhm.
So yeah, I got to still play around with some various ball python morphs over the last few years. Like at the height of the DG clown stuff, we were making DG clowns. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, I can't deny a pretty snake, even though
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I have one ball python, and it is my wife's technically, and it's the first snake I ever hatched, and he lives in a fully planted bioactive vivarium in the living room.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
You living a good life.
He's a savage. He's always eating frozen thawed. He's always been a beast about his food. He's perfect, dude. He's solid.
Come on. Call 'em my little rock monsters is what I call them.
Yeah, dude. I used to get bit by quite a few ball pythons at the shop. They were no joke. Some of them are real firecrackers, man.
Oh yeah. I got
And,
some in here. You open the drawer, they're coming out no matter what.
Yeah. No, I got bit by a lot of ball pythons, surprisingly enough. I guess it's because I would let my guard down with them. Like with the Argentine boas and the blackheads and the womas. I was definitely aware of where my thumbs were at all times. Um, Same with the monitors and stuff. Like I got bit by more ball pythons than anything.
Yeah.
Respect.
Sal has. We know that the pop wants your favorite carpet to breed. What's your favorite non-carpet species to breed and work with?
Ooh. I've been having a lot of fun with the Western Hognose. Last season was my first time breeding those. Um, I'm giving my first really young male a shot with some rosy boas this spring once I bring them up from winter. So I'm looking forward to that. Breeding rainbow boas was a lot of fun. It was really easy.
Yeah.
I just kind of figured out their cycle and could read them really well. And I had a mentor who taught me how to palpate, and so I could, check females. And as soon as I learned how to do that, it was game on. And so rainbow boas became like a home run for me every time. So that was a lot of fun while I enjoyed that. I'd never wanted to go further with it because I didn't want to dabble in any of the morphs, just because I don't think there's a market there for them, at least right now. And honestly, I don't think you can make that snake any prettier than an exceptionally high colored version of itself. So some of the morphs took away from that, in my opinion, especially the albinos. Like I don't find any of the albino rainbow boas attractive whatsoever. So yeah, I was just like reds and oranges. That's it. And then I kind of ran my course with those. I bred Madagascar giant hognose like
Oh, that's cool.
5 or 6 years ago or something like that, a couple times, and those were fun. They were a real test of like your observational skills, because I initially would set them up individually and they were super high strung, high stress, like would hood up, full cobra, like strike and bite and go after me, and they're really, really tense all the time. They never settled down. And I mean, granted, they were wild caught, but they just never settled down until I threw them in a 4-foot cage together, and then they all shut up and started eating. And they
I was
started.
gonna say, how was the pairing with them? Did they go kind of crazy with each other at first, or what?
So when I first put them all together in the enclosure, I sat and watched them just to see what they would do. And then I actually put a camera in there and would watch them overnight too. And I found that they were way more nocturnal than we thought.
Okay.
They are a diurnal species, but they are certainly active at night, certain times of the year, especially when it's warm, and especially during breeding season. So they were like burning the candle at both ends, and they're really good about understanding that like a con specific or a cage mate is exactly that, not food. And but when it comes to feeding time, I actually didn't really bother separating and like pulling them out because they are not fun to handle when they're in feed mode. They will bite and chew on you. And I got chewed on by a female on both my hands one time, and they tingled. They definitely have something. And so I would feed one and have the other food like in a cup on deck. So I'd feed one when it was like kind of away from the rest, and I'd kind of pick and choose when to offer the others. And I would give them something that it could take down in a relatively fast time and distract the others while they were eating. And I got into a good routine with it, and it was never an issue. The only thing I had was one time a female was grabbing, and I didn't know, and I thought she ate the food, and she didn't. And so another animal took it, but
come on,
it wasn't the end of the world,
Because my thought is like I know when you pair them, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know when like I pair my hog nose and stuff, that's always my worry is like I'm opening the bin and one of them's gonna be in the other mouth of the other one, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I've seen
Western hog noses,
videos,
that's more of a concern. With the Madagascars, I didn't have any issues with that.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool.
The only challenge with having 3 of them in a cage like that is it was extremely messy. All the time. 3 like 4.5, 5-foot colubrids in a cage together, all pooping and peeing like multiple times a week. And I was giving them like chicks and rodents, brother.
Oh yeah.
It was
they
full.
Smearing it everywhere.
Oh yeah, they get it in the tracks of the glass, out the door, through the vents, out the cage.
Yeah.
Olympians, man.
It kind of makes sense though when you said that like they come out more too at night, because I mean I just think of westerns too with frogs. I mean that's one of their in the wild their main diet is frogs, and we hear the frogs the most at nighttime.
Right.
When that sun's going down and whatnot, you start hearing them chirp. So it makes sense to me that of course they're gonna come out, and especially hot months. You think around Florida, like it's hot and you have that hot, humid air at nighttime. You could hear that chirping going all night long.
And corn snakes are nocturnal in the summer and diurnal in the cooler months in spring and fall. So it's the same, it's
same effect.
Not so cut and dry. It's not just one thing. There's usually a spectrum,
Yep.
So they were a lot of fun. They were a fun species to breed as far as snakes go. So
how is expected to say the Apodora?
They're intense, brother. I guess I should also preface this that I bred my blacktail Crebos that I used to have, and I did have a near cannibalization incident with them, and I had to rush home from work and stick my hand in the male's mouth and separate him off of the female's head, so he wouldn't. So I had that happen one time, so that taught me to be very, very precise and watchful. And then I did have one instance where I introduced my male Apodora too early in the season to the female, and she grabbed him, but I happened to be right there and was able to pull him out and separate them. But they're intense because they're really strong, and they have an insane food drive in the enclosure, like retic level food drive, big snake, your standard, like anything that comes in, it's on and cracking. So you really got to be mindful of them. You got to like communicate and work with them. You got to watch their eyes. But they're, once you figure out like, okay, this is the season, this is when you can introduce them. If you do this right and you give them, this much time off of food before you do, and you feed them well, then, and you watch them, you shouldn't have any issues if it's, the right time of year. So I've got that part figured out. And then last season, I was running my bigger male to both females that I have, and I was getting tons of locks. I got the season, the right timing dialed. I got them breeding. I felt follicles in both the females, and then one after the other, they both decided to reabsorb follicles, which is like a super notorious thing for them.
Damn.
A lot of people get to that point. They'll get all sorts of locks in breeding. You'll feel the follicles. They're literally the size of like avocado pits. It's like thunk, thunk, thunk. They're huge. No mistaking them. Like you can't tell me they weren't there. There's no reality in which I did not feel those follicles. And then she reabsorbed, went back on food, and like it never happened. So that's the big challenge with this species. Ryan Young has had success, and then I know Cody Joe McEwen up in Canada has had success the past couple seasons, and I think that they're having success, one, because they haven't moved the animals around a bunch, so they've been able to stay with them for quite a while, and then two, I think multiple males is important. Something about it just stimulates one to really get the job done, or I don't know. So I've got a younger male, and he's about, gosh, he's going to be a little over 6 now. And he's still smaller than my other male, but he's not quite snack sized anymore. He I don't know, he's about 8 or 9 feet. So he's still much smaller than my other male, but I'm going to try and incorporate him into the breeding pattern this season and see if I can't, stimulate some breeding. I'd rather have any babies and not know which male is the true paternal father, than, not. So what I'll probably do is run one male to one female, and after I get some locks and see them separate, put him with the other female, and then female put the other male in with the one I just pulled him from, and see if we get some different response, or if the breeding takes, or what. So
Gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah. So that would be a huge accomplishment for me personally for a lot of reasons. So but yeah, they're awesome snakes, man. They're so cool to work with, super strong, and they get big.
Heck yeah.
Have you ever worked with false water cobras?
Yeah. I worked with some in zoos actually early on, like 15 years ago or something like that, 14 years ago. This is when I first started working with some. I worked with a really big male who was awesome. He was so much fun. He always ate his rats butt first, which was really funny. But yeah, falsies are great. They're a fun species of snake. Yeah, dude, it was every time. He would go past it and grab it from the butt. Every time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's cool. He's a quirky snake.
That's what my homie Sleepy does with false water cobras.
Come on.
They're cool. They're a lot of fun. They're very similar to the blacktail crebos that I used to work with, in like behavior, appetite, care requirements, things like that. And so I had a lot of fun with them.
Hell yeah. Trying to help you out there, Keys, when he keeps flopping in.
It's crazy, man. I don't even know why I started doing
I don't know why it's doing that. As soon as you hit the comment to show it, it'll just swap. I've never seen it. StreamYard acting up. It was being funny though before we got on the show earlier. So we'll
just blame Starlink or something like that.
Right?
Blame
Starlink.
I like crebos too. They get big.
Yeah.
Yeah. My male was every bit of 7.5 feet and that big around. Dude was a beast. Big fella.
And you had to take the girl's mouth out of
yeah, they were locked like this. Like they both were, like she had his lower jaw and he had the top of her head. And and so I stuck my hand in his mouth and pulled back like that off the top of her head. And then as soon as I did that, she instantly let go. And then she had like a little scar on her lip, a huge gash on the back of her head with like some tissue hanging out, and she was like bleeding out the mouth and stuff. I set up a quarantine tank for her, and she was like then like in hours she was looking around hunting for food. I was like, you're
I was just
you're
slowing her down.
nuts. You're nuts.
Savage. Yeah.
I fed her the next day like it never happened, and she just healed up scars. Like the scales healed over after a few sheds. It was like nothing happened. She was very fortunate that the no teeth damaged her eyes. I didn't even take her to the vet. She was fine.
I mean, that shows you right there, like how strong these animals actually are. I mean, in the wild, they got to deal with birds coming down, other prey messing with them and poking at them and stuff, and they still manage to keep kicking and going.
Yeah, I mean, they're tanks for a reason. They run around hunting. They're active hunters. They cover miles of ground and bulldoze things into the ground and eat them.
Bulldoze
so
them
cool.
and eat them.
Yeah.
So do you feed frozen for all of them?
Yes. Yeah. The only time I feed live is if it's like a stubborn newborn or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It is. I've got a lot of. I've got a really good local rodent supplier who supplies like a big number of the various pet shops in like a decent area up here in NorCal. And while I was managing the shop, he supplied them, and I became close with him. So he hooks me up, and I get hooked up through him too. So he's about 25-minute drive from me, so I just put it in order, and then he's like, yeah, it'll be ready in a day or two, come by. And I just pick it up and give him cash and
nice.
run it back on home. It's real easy. And then for the Apodora, I hit up Jeff Kelly of El Segundo Pythons, and I have him ship me a box of frozen pigs, and good for them. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Super
What
easy.
made you really prefer the frozen compared to the live? Just less to have to worry about?
Just less trips to the store, less work, less maintaining live rodents. I got it down to a science where I can kind of like figure out exactly how much to thaw out before a food offering, and kind of parcel things out well. When I was managing the shop, initially everything fed on live there, and then we started getting good access to cheap frozen, so I started incorporating that in there. But man, I tell you what, after seeing a few snakes chewed on by rats, I'm so over feeding live.
Right.
So over it. I get that some species prefer it, and like that is that. That's
right.
fine.
Right.
I accommodate where it's needed. If an animal wants live only, then we're going live only. But at some point, I'm going to try and make an attempt to switch to frozen thawed. In fact, funny side note: when I bred ball pythons, those couple years, every animal that I had ate frozen thawed, and I started all my babies on frozen thawed.
Heck yeah.
But at the shop, I found it much easier to feed live because I could just walk over to the rack and just grab a bin, throw like a bunch of hoppers and rats in there, just plop, 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 just go down and feed like 75 snakes in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
So
that's what my whole ordeal, because I did frozen for like 2 years, and my thing to get a good response is I do it in the middle of the night at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was getting the best response and it would be the quickest for me. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night, do it, and it was time consuming. So it was more. And then I started breeding my own. I was like, all right, this is easier. I can, like you just said, blah, 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 blah. Here you go.
It's real fast. You've got it like adjacent to your stock of animals right there, and you can do that, because then it's just as convenient, if not more so, than frozen thawed, because you don't have to prep it.
Correct.
So yeah, no, there's pros and cons to that for sure. The nice thing is my carpet pythons will literally eat anything. They would damn near eat roadkill if I offered it to them. So it's, I take a little bit of time. So like, okay, so tomorrow, it's not the greatest example because not everything's up and feeding, but tomorrow what I'll do is I'll kind of run down through all the animals and put together a list of like what I want to pull out the freezer in the morning, and then by like 4 or 5 o'clock I'll throw it in some hot water in the bucket in their bags, and it's all organized and labeled and everything, and then I can go down the line, and usually by then they're super hungry. So
the carpets are way easier, I feel like, than the balls. I mean, You get stuck shed with ball pythons. None of my carpets I ever have stuck shed with. It's like, what the heck is going on? And I know what my problem is. I have a heater running right now. It's wintertime, so of course it's drying out my building.
Yep.
So I'm having to mist constantly. But it's funny because I can see that like my carpets are loving it. Like, shit, this ain't no harm. I got you.
Yeah. I have to run a humidifier in here for the summer because the air conditioning will dry it out, and then in the winter the heater will dry it out too. So I have noticed if it gets a little dry, if you have anything on a carpet, it's usually like the tail tip or like the top of the head.
Yep.
That's it. But yeah, they're usually pretty darn forgiving in that realm. New keepers will contact me and they'll ask me the various questions in preparation for the new snake, and they'll ask me, what humidity do I aim for, and I feel kind of bad when I'm saying it, but I explain it out so they don't think I'm just like kind of an airhead buffoon. But I'm like, I don't measure humidity. I don't have humidity gauges anywhere. I'm not checking any of that. I'm never paying attention to 60%, 50%, whatever. I run the humidifier, fill it up, clean it, disinfect it as needed, clean everybody's water bowls regularly, call it a day. I don't have to worry about it. If I notice something, then I'll make adjustments with like a humid hide or change the bedding that I'm providing that animal or a larger water bowl or something. But
that's really my go-to. What you just said, the larger water bowl. Like if I feel like especially my bins, the hog noses or king snakes or my babies, I could up the water bowl in there, and I've noticed that's a big difference. It helps,
Yeah, it makes a big difference. There's little things you can do to make your life easy. Little life hacks,
Right. I actually like this question Kyle's got right here. Pull it up. I know it's going to swap you over. Question, because I know it'll interest Justin. Do you combat your male carpets, and what is your process like?
I haven't in a long time, but I just haven't felt the need to. My males have been pretty good. But if I had, what I would do in the past was, so say like I've got the enclosure that I want the female bred, and I've got this male that I want to breed her, but he's just sleeping and just sitting there, and I'm like pretty certain he should be on the right timing. I'll throw my secondary male in while he's in there with the female. The female will be off in there, and that'll usually rile both of them up. And after like 30 seconds or a minute of them kind of like shoving, and they kind of do this jockeying for like top dominant behavior.
Right.
So after you get a little bit of this going, just pull the male that you don't want in with that female breeding and put him in with another female. And then that male that was in there will feel like he just won a battle.
So now you get to go claim her.
Yeah, he'll be like, dude, I'm so gnarly. I'm epic. I just totally I just kicked that guy's ass. He's out of here. I'm gonna go. Here's my lady. Yeah,
Right.
But what you do with the other guys, you put him in with a lady too, because he's also fired up.
So. He's fired up, right?
So, I was about to kick his ass. He had to take me away.
yeah. You should have seen the other guy. They had to pull me off him. So it's a very effective strategy if your males are kind of like intimidated by a female, or they're feeling just like they just feel like they want to sit and digest or sit on the heat or something. It's a great tool. There's nothing wrong with it.
The balls.
No.
Heck yeah. I wonder, could you also do the shed trick like we do with ball pythons and put a male shed in there of another male and put him in there, and you'll just smell it and they'll probably drive them insane?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely merit to that trick as well, for sure.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I would love to watch them kind of battle. I ain't gonna lie, just watch them. I mean, it ain't like they're gonna hurt each other or anything. They're just showing dominance.
As long as you don't leave them in there too long.
Right.
I had a jungle that I swore I sexed as a baby from the breeder after getting a few missed sex. We were pretty certain this was a female, and I guess I messed up or something and raised it up like a female. And then this year I tossed a zebra in with her and heard some huge like bam right against the glass. I was like, what the hell? And they were just like absolutely just smashing each other, just like fighting. I was like, damn it.
Two males.
I pulled him out, popped him, and instantly confirmed. I was like, dude, I've been Sleeping on this, feeding it like a female for the last 4 years. Oh well.
That definitely happens. I've done it with the ball pythons, and
Yeah.
I'll pop them and be like, I mean, I swear. And then sure enough, I'm like, I'll call Patrick over, like, bring your probe kit over. Will you probe this? Sure. And, nope, it's a male. I'm like, darn it, I thought I was all right.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines, your wires get crossed, or you just write something down wrong, or whatever it ends up being. Yeah, it is what it is.
That, and he was a big boy, so it was hard already to get pop him. And when I would, wouldn't popping the beans out for me. It would just show me, the middle. So I'm like, all right, you gotta be a female, but
yeah,
nope, I was a male.
It happens. There's those in betweeners like that for sure.
Those are those bummer ones too, because you're like, man, I've been holding you for how long, thinking you're a female.
Yeah, when you could have been breeding them the year prior.
Right,
Yeah. Oh well, you live and you learn, right?
Right. So how many clutches? I would say. So you bred some carpets last year, then?
Yeah, last year I did like 7.
Come on.
I think I did like 7 clutches last year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest clutch?
My Brettles clutch was 19 babies. So that was, there were a bunch of slugs too. So that was like, it's probably closer to 30 eggs if you counted all the slugs. So that girl, so she's due for a big clutch. I usually average, like between 10 and 15 on a clutch. Anything more than 15 is pretty good size. So, and then, but I've had some, I had one female where I bred her three times, and each time the clutch was like between like 2 and 6 fertile eggs and a dozen crappy ones,
Dozen crappy. Okay.
So, you can get 10 clutches, and some of them might only be 4 or 5 viable babies in the end,
right?
Or 2 or 15, but yeah. So I think last year, if I recall correctly, without checking notes, I think I had 7-ish clutches. This year, if my memory serves, I think I'm aiming for like 22 or 23 pairs of carpet pythons.
Come on.
And the Brettles are spring breeders, so right now they're in my buddy's basement, hitting 50 degrees at night. So they breed later. The Brettles and Diamonds breed a little bit later. So during your cool down in the winter is when you're breeding all your Darwins, your jungles, your coastals, your Papuans, stuff like that. And then as you're starting to get ready to transition from colder to warmer, that's when you start pairing things like your Brettles, your Diamonds, and then depending on who you ask, I think Inlands also fall in that group too. But yeah, so you do that and let them get real cold, and then bring them up and feed, pair, and then the females are usually good after a few meals and locked and loaded.
That's what I was gonna say, Chris. Like the Brettles can get that cold. How you're getting down to 50? Are you getting lower than that though? Can they hit lower than that? Because I know some of the Diamonds are hitting close to 30 on some of them.
Yeah, I mean, like I know some people who have accidentally left a window open during a storm, and their Diamond, one female hit 33 degrees. But like that was an accident. I pushed them, into the mid to upper 40s a couple times over the last 2 seasons, no issue. The key is as long as they have a hot spot warm up during the day for like 7 to 8 hours, that's the formula essentially. That's what they need.
That's what I'm hearing too. That's what I'm hearing. Like you can get them temperatures to drop, but as long as they have that during the day, that little, like you said, 6 to 7 hours of warm, it brings them right back, which is kind of cool, man. I like that because I do it with my bearded dragons, and watching them go in brumation in the wintertime is some of the coolest shit for me. I don't know.
Yeah, so you would treat Brettles the same way you would treat a beardy. They come from the exact same part of Australia. So see,
and mine stay out, and they get we hit 30, they come inside, and it's only like 1 or 2 nights they come in, and after that, the next day they go right back out. They go right back out. They're fine.
I think that's safe. I would feel pretty uncomfortable with my reptiles being out anything below like 45 or 40,
Yep.
something like that. Unless it's native,
Right.
But yeah, no, even the Australian geckos I keep them right in this room. Well, most of them now that they've gotten numerous, they've expanded into the living room. But my first group, I cycle them on the same sort of temperature goals and timelines as my carpet, so it times out perfectly. So it's great.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's sweet.
I had a killer season with them last year. I think I produced 21 babies. So,
Woo, let's go.
Yeah.
So they're
I
fun.
would say, so what are you pushing this year with your populins? Are you shooting how many clutches for those?
I'm shooting for seven pairs of poplin carpets this year.
Woo, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So 2 of those are granites to just a normal unrelated animal to make some good outcrossed hets. And then the other 5 pairs are like one's a repeat pairing of last year to make some more F2s. 2 of them are to make some boa cabana line animals specifically. And then some more dark stuff that I'm trying to track down how I accidentally produced a really, really melanistic Papuan 4 seasons ago and gave it to my buddy.
Do what?
Yeah, it looked normal when I gave it to him, and then he sends me a picture, and it's like completely
Looks hypo. Yeah.
Like, where did that come from, dude? He was like, you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the? So I hounded him for the last few months. I was like, go find that record card that I gave you. You need to tell me what pairing that came from. And he finally found it, and he did. So I went onto my computer, and I keep lineage charts and keep records. And so I was able to go back and see exactly which pairing it came from. Unfortunately, the female died a few years ago. She broke her back while giving birth, like laying eggs one season, and was paralyzed from that point on.
Damn.
She coiled her clutch, and that was the last movement of her back end that she ever gave me. And so I had to euthanize her. And I think she gave me, that was either her first or second clutch. I'll have to double check. But I kept a pair of them, and they don't look like that, but they look dark, but not like that.
So it's like, hey, buddy, I need to use that snake.
Yeah. So we'll see what. So I still have the sire, and the best part about it, even though that female passed, is that whatever it is, if it turns out to be something heritable, it's brand new from wild caught stock.
Okay.
It's not from anybody else's work. It's not from any other animals. It's from animals that I got from the importer as little red neonates that weren't even eating, straight from the farm, and I brought home and raised up, and then bred them. And so we'll see. He's a good friend of mine, and he says, if you want to borrow him, let me know. And I was like, I will give you whatever you want for that loan.
Right.
But I still have the sire, and he's actually fathering one of the hopeful het granite clutches this year.
Well, you could also, I mean, if he's holding it and he's het for it, you could also produce some babies and pray that, you got some possible hets in there and hit some visuals. But that's a whole nother route compared to have him. Now, the one that your buddy has, is that a female that he has, or
it's a boy?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
So you got 2 males. So it's kind of you're gonna have to run it that way, more or less.
Yeah. The nice thing is I can run it to other wild caught stock that doesn't have any other influences in it. So I will be able to isolate exactly where this thing comes from. I just wish I still had that female, because there's no telling if it comes from the male or the female.
Or the female.
I've bred that male so many times. He's founded my F2 stock. He started a lot of stuff for me, and nothing has come out like that. So I'm fairly certain it came from whatever that female had. Or
but the male would have to hold
of the 2.
I would say the male would have to hold some of it. It wouldn't.
Potentially, I don't know. You know, if it is something heritable and it behaves like an IMG type behavior, then it's sort of like a dominant trait and it's not recessive.
That's
So
right.
it's a toss up. But at the very least, yeah, he's got the male and he's kept him real lean and real small. So
Come on.
yeah, there's still light at the end of the tunnel for that project. So we'll
That's
see.
sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah. So whatever that yields, I'll keep everything from and raise it all up and hoard it like I do. Keep it all. I keep a lot. I keep a lot of holdbacks every year.
Nice.
It's
If
dangerous.
you want to show anything, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah. Let me see.
I want to see some of them populins you got. I know you got some sweet populin babies over there.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite carpets, for sure.
I was making some striped jungle stuff 2 seasons ago and accidentally stumbled into what I think is an ocelot project. So I was going for striped jungles again from some of my own striped jungles that I made, and I started like, this is kind of what I was hoping to get, was a lot of these side stripes that are starting to connect now, because I can get dorsal stripes, but then I started getting some ocelots in a lot of them, and this isn't even a very high expression one. I have some with a lot more. Let's see here. No, not you. I got too many. Here we go.
Those are good problems.
Yeah, I just gotta I gotta make more notes on their cages or something like that. But yeah, there seems to be some sort of ocelot trait going on with the striped jungles that I made, and I repeated the pairing this last season and got a small clutch that showed similar results.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fairly high expression animal. It actually is one of the few that's high expression and has striping. The traits seem to want to work against one another. The other ones that have the very high ocelots tend to just have a broken dorsal. So this season I'm pairing a zebra male over one of the females, and then I'm pairing an unrelated striped jungle over the other female. And if I get ocelots coming out of either of those, then I'll know one thing, that it's heritable, and that it's probably polygenic and not recessive. If I get anything out of these, I'll know that it's not recessive, because the two pairs are going to be unrelated. So that will be some nice answers in that direction, and then I can finally stop hoarding, dozens of these jungles that are starting to eat me out of house and home. All right, get in there. No, don't you do that. As far as the pop wins go,
yeah,
I have a few really. So I have one male in particular, Red Man, that's an F1 that I made from that sire of that black project, and he makes beautiful babies. And so I bred him Red Man to his sister last year for the first time.
Red Man.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it even like fades some of that pattern on it.
Oh, it's drippy too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy looking.
That is cool. I like how it lightened it up. I mean, that almost looks hypo.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's some really, really high expression animals here that have it so light they're like peach and beige. They still, start dark in the front, but even then, like, some of them actually have red pigment that's starting to come through starting to come through in the head stamp in here. Yep. So normally in the little bit of pattern that is inside the black, it's just tan, like the buckskin and black. Well, some of these are starting to have red peeking through the black, and generally you don't get a lot of that red color up by the neck after they've had their first or second shed, and these were keeping the red, you know, way deep. So that one's in shed. This one's pretty nice too. Yeah, this is a good one. This girl's really nice too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's crazy how it's not like so. It's lighter, like and it's well, like it's got like the
Nice.
tones of them, the outlining of it is lighter on it. That's sick. I like that.
yeah. So if this is how good 2 generations of line breeding went, I think once I raise some of these up and breed them together, I'll be able to reduce this black border on this patterning by even more and get basically a line bred hypo after maybe 1 or 2 more generations. So we'll see.
It looks like you're close. I mean,
yeah, we'll see. I'm really curious and hopeful that these will age and stay nice and light. Unfortunately, you know, shadows make it difficult to see on camera, but yeah,
that's sick. I like that. I like that a lot. And it like made it more like that creamier color towards the ass end. You know, it goes from that bright to lightening all the way down.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. So they came out really nice. Been happy with that. So I kept I have 11 of those still. I don't really feel like getting rid of any of them.
I don't blame you.
I sent 2 to Nick in trade, and then I sold 2 to a couple gals in my Patreon, and then I was like, I don't really want to let any more of these go. I kind of just want to keep them all. But I'm repeating the pairing. So what I think I'll end up doing is, you know, we'll see how this year's pairing goes, and then maybe let a few go finally. Made some albino Darwins again this year, and this is the girl that I'm keeping. It's funny because I was talking with Nick, and he's got plenty of albino Darwins, but hasn't really held many back. And I held this girl back because she was like this lavender and orange when she had her first shed and hatched out. So if you ever see an entire clutch of albino Darwins, there's like 2 looks to them. There's like this orange and white look and this orange and lavender look. And they ultimately, I think, shed out looking the same. But Nick and I were just like, oh, I've never kept one back like that. Maybe there's something to be line bred for better color saturation or something in those. Who knows? So keeping this girl, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I need to add some of the non-albino, the tiger Darwins, the striped ones. I want
those are ones I kind of like when it comes to Darwins. I'm not too big on the albinos. It's to each your own type thing though. Some people really like them, some people don't, you know.
They age really nicely, I'll tell you that.
Heck yeah.
They age very nice. Where did I put your card?
Heck yeah.
Let's see. Here's a wild pop win. This girl, wild caught.
That is cool. It's got that neon color to it.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart too.
Yeah.
Almost like a jungle color to the poplin, you know?
Yeah, the other one I have is even more so, like real bright yellow.
Come on. That is sick. I even like around the head, that yellow is there.
Yeah.
Like that is sick.
Yeah, she's really unique.
I like it too, Kyle.
Pretty dark as a baby, so I'm really digging her color change.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one you pulled out. That's sick. I mean, don't get me wrong. The hypo shit, to me, that is cool as shit. Like, that is going to be, when you literally figure it out and you're nailing it all the way, like, that's going to be remarkable to me.
That would be some cool stuff. We'll see what happens.
I know I'd be rolling around on the floor when you hit that. You know, if I was you, I'd be on the ground. Yeah.
Coach wants you to, I don't know if Coach wants to see Redman or not. He wants to see Reggie Noble.
Oh, yeah? Where'd I go? Did I put him away?
Oh, red man. Come on.
Mhm. Red man's the pappy.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's kept his color really, really nicely into adulthood. And he got the name Red Man because when I hatched the clutch, he was the brightest, reddest baby of all of them that stood out the most. And after his first shed, he was the only one that was still like cherry tomato red. And I actually went through my old photos and I still have his baby photo. I found it. But yeah, man, this is a guy that really kicked off my stuff. He's a good boy too.
Come on.
He'll breed anything.
Yeah.
He's good. So.
He said, "Put it in here. I'll do it, Dad. Come on."
Yeah, he's getting 2 girls for me this year. So with any luck, we'll have double representation of his blood. Some more. We'll have a repeat of the F2 pairing from last season, and then I'm pairing him to kind of a funky, bizarre looking female that has these random black patches in her color that doesn't make sense. Like it'll just be randomly like just black all right there, or just like a random like black splotch. Kind of bizarre. So see if we get some babies out of her. But yeah,
come on.
He's a stud breeder.
Yeah, that's sick. I like the pattern on that one too.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of like striped sections that like kind of want to be striped, but otherwise, yeah, he's kind of got some of the more banded and aberrant stuff. So, but you pair anything with a little bit of striping, and you're definitely gonna get stripes out of carpets. They're just so variable that their pattern just lends towards that quite nicely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the striping is cool, and then I like the chaining when you get that long chaining down the dorsal, and then it's you got the little breakups there, but it's not breaking up that chain, you know.
Yeah, I sold an Exanic Tiger a couple years ago that I definitely should have kept. That the back stripe was like a zigzag of like barbed wire. It looked like
that's cool.
It was so
that's sick. See,
nasty looking snake. I was like, ooh. Why did I get rid of that?
Right.
I know where it's at though. So I get updates regularly.
Like, how's that thing looking? Let me see it. Hell yeah.
For real. He knows he's not allowed to get rid of it unless he offers it to me first.
Yeah. Coach wants to know how's your Stonewash Brothers pairing going?
They're still down in the basement right now, getting cold. I'll be probably pulling everybody up and starting to warm them up probably in 3 weeks. So that will be a het stonewash to a visual stonewash pairing. In fact, the visual stonewash might even be het stripe. My buddy Alan and I have a hypothesis that the stripe kind of wants to pull away some of the stonewash. I don't know. We'll have to do some test breeding and see. In the het form, it seems to make the stonewash like a lower expression, but I don't know.
How long are you cooling them down for? Like a month? A little over a month?
I start like a gradual cool down, like the end of November, and then I put them into like cooling all of December, all of January, and then I start bringing them back up mid-February.
Mid-February. That's something. Right. Come on.
Yeah. So it's and then I'll tinker with like my start and end time based on kind of what the weather outside is doing.
Right.
So if you've got like a winter that's going late or coming early, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to kind of time it out as evenly with that as possible.
Right.
So, yep.
That's what we did with my hog noses. I just put them in a bunch of bins and put them up in my attic. And then and then I pull them down, and then they're good, pretty much. Yep. They're they're in the room, not in their bins yet, but I'm slowly graduating them back up to the temp right now, and then I'm going to put them back in the bins and run them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some of those too. I just reloaded the freezer in preparation for those. They're going to eat a lot.
Me and Sean's first year, like putting them and brumating them in the cold. I was like, no. I was like, we were like, should we put them eat the house? I was like, because I have a subfloor, so I was like, I can put them eat the house. I was like, maybe it's too cold to eat there. I was like, at least I know in the attic they'll get a little heat from the house, but it won't be too cold either, you know.
Yeah.
Said Justin.
I tried to. He's a big fella though. He's heavy for me to get him up there.
Coach wants to know about your super zebra. He wants you to show the super zebra.
Okay.
Come on. Super zebra.
Or zebra. It's what it's supposed to be pronounced.
It's gonna be really striped out. I think it's gonna be like lined up.
So my female super zebra is breeding right now, or she might be done. But I have 4 others.
Come on. Have no pattern. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so super zebras are patternless.
Let's go.
When they're young, you'll get a little bit of like lateral two-toning, where like it almost looks like there's a side stripe. Yeah, they're really neat. A lot of people don't like them because typically they have kinked tails, and as you can see, this one does not.
Yeah.
2 of the supers that I hatched last year have perfect tails, just like their mom does, which is kind of rare. I don't know why. I think it's just luck of the draw. Just got lucky. And then this is also a parthenogen. I'm like 99% sure, because I paired her, my female super zebra last season, to a banded normal jungle. And so 100% of the clutch should have just been zebras. And then when I noticed they were pipping and I opened the egg box, I saw several chrome little patternless heads, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And so 5 super zebras hatched, and there were several others dead in the egg. So about half the clutch was super zebras and half were normal zebras. And so the only way that makes sense is that it was like a partial parthenogenic clutch. And what I intend to do is collect the sheds on this girl, her siblings, which are all females, so that still lines up, and mom and dad, and then send those off to Warren Booth. And he's got an ongoing study of parthenogenesis in snakes, and he can confirm it through shed testing, basically to tell if there's maternal lineage, paternal lineage, or not. So one way or another, we'll figure it out. But yeah, they're so far doing really well. 2 of them are perfect. 2 of them are imperfect in the slightest way. You're all right. You're all right. One of them has a little bit of a hook tail, so it's like a hairpin, like just a straight turn. And then the other one, it's kind of like folded up and knotted and gets, kind of funky in the shed. So I have to help those shed. I haven't docked either of their tails. I've done it in the past. I was just kind of hoping to see if that one that has like the really gnarly knot, if it could shed itself off. But I think there's going to have to be an intervention at some point.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's on the tail. It's past the vent, so it's not anything like it's going to hurt them or anything or affect anything down the road. Exactly.
Yeah. And honestly, like it might even automate itself off at the very tip. Like, enough shed might just pop that little nub off at the end. So it'll do it itself anyway. So, but because they're parthenogens, I don't really know, I'd like to confirm that first with the DNA analysis, but what do you do with a parthenogenic snake? Because everywhere we read is that they don't live very long.
Very long. That's what I was going to kind of get at. Is it's a partho clutch. So what do you? I'd be definitely kind of worried of selling one and then somebody calling 6 months or a year down the road and saying, "Hey, man, it didn't make it." That would be my problem.
Exactly.
With it.
So my plan right now is to indefinitely keep the 2 with perfect tails forever, and then the 2 that have the imperfect tails, I'd like to. I'm sure there's somebody who'd be interested in like gifting it as a a pet, and just let them know, like, full disclosure, like, you could find this thing dead one day.
Yep. Or it could live forever and even produce you a clutch, maybe. You never know.
Who knows, right? Yeah. So who knows? So I'd like to give it a shot. I've worked with there was a Brazilian rainbow boa at the last zoo that I worked at that was a baby out of parthenogenesis and was in its teenage years. So I don't think it's a complete guarantee that their lives are doomed, but I just don't think we know enough.
Come on. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I like the colors.
Yeah.
And like Coach was saying, go figure, one of the most patterned snakes, zebra, and then a super
Right.
patternless,
Right. Yeah. I'll show you one of the zebras that hatched out of that clutch.
Almost looks like like a super caramel,
Busy.
Super.
That is wild. See? Goes from that to boom.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't expect the complete opposite.
Right.
What you expect.
Like this thing has a stripe down its full belly, like a negative reverse stripe on its back. It's got bands for days, even like little ocelli in the neck sort of deal going on.
Yeah, I'm with just a zebra.
Yeah.
The pattern is nasty, but then the super is cool because then you could throw some really cool colors in the setup and make it blend.
They start with a blank canvas.
I think people can do a lot of work with zebras in terms of influencing their color, the amount of tipping or clean black versus tipped out black. My breeder male, who's 11 years old, is only like 2 generations away from the first one that came into the States, and those first gen zebras look brown and ugly compared to what we can produce today. So you get 4 or 5 generations in, and all of a sudden these things look like they've been plugged into an outlet.
Yeah, that's exactly the best expression. Plugged in an outlet. There you go. Yeah. Coach wants to know how much for the zebra, and if it's available.
That one's mine.
Hold back, Coach. Hold back.
Hold back. I'm working on making more. I'm working on making more. I'm actually repeating that pairing right now.
Come on.
Oh, so no, I'm doing an MIA male to that jungle. Yeah.
Missing in action?
Oh, well, he's done. I think she's done. I think she's gravid. I think she's done. I'll pull this guy out.
He said MIA girl. Missing in action girl?
MIA. It's a specific line. Yeah. So this is my MIA line jungle boy. He's real dark.
That is dark, yeah.
What's crazy, though, is his head's real light.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
But the body is dark. And that's the thing with all the MIA line stuff. To what degree it's individual, but yeah, every one of the MIA line jungles, they all seem to have a brighter yellow on the head than the rest of the body. Christian Parr has probably the better examples of animals from this line, but it is, new blood that came to the United States for the first time in decades, so it has value deeper than its looks. This boy has been breeding with a super zebra to hopefully make some MIA line zebras for me this year.
Let's go.
So he's a little dude, but he's getting the job done, hopefully. Yeah, that's the nice thing about carpets. The males don't have to be big. There you go, boss. You climb on your perch.
How big do the females typically got to be, or is it just age?
Um, you know, you can breed them at a smaller size if they are like 4 or 5 years old. I would say if your female can take medium rats, she's plenty big. I generally want them to be around like, I don't know, 3 inches in diameter or so for jungles. I used to feed them to the point where they would get a lot bigger, but I don't feed as much as I used to like 10 years ago. But yeah, I like my female jungles to be around 6-7 feet at most.
What about your poplins?
My pop ones stay small. They stay under 6 feet.
Oh yeah. Well, how about weight size? What do you think for pairing?
If I had to guess, they're probably at most 1,500, 2,000 grams.
Same almost goes to a ball.
Yeah, because it's just longer. Like I've found at certain milestones, ball pythons and carpet pythons will actually weigh similar amounts. Not too dramatic. But you can also push both of those animals to excessive sizes, or you can also breed them young and small without having to be the exorbitant size, and you can arguably keep them at a leaner, smaller, healthier body mass so they live longer. I've had animals that I fed excessively and they didn't see their 11th birthday. So yeah,
makes sense. Definitely makes sense. It's kind of like I don't force feed my carpets. Of course, my poplin, if I give her a rat every day, she would take it. She's a little savage, but
see, that's the problem. They'll happily eat as much as you give.
Yeah.
I've never had a carpet just be like, no, I'm not interested in that meal today.
Yep.
No reason. There's always a reason. It's usually because they're sick or in shed.
But she's smart. It's crazy because I could reach in the enclosure and she'll know if it's me or if I'm feeding. That's one thing I can say about her is like she's very smart.
Yeah, unless you do it after dark. If you do it after dark and you go in there, then they're game on. Even the nicest carpet python will expect food is coming in at night.
Yep. So, you can tell at nighttime. You come in here, all the lights are out, and I turn the light on. You can see she's in there going like, "Where's it at? Looking around."
I have hooks kind of all around the room, and it's not necessarily for, like safety or anything. It's like if I have to clean at night and I need to, or do something close to when lights are out, I'd rather open a door with a hook.
Yep.
Get my thumbs blasted.
Yeah, they're great. I love them. That's one thing I've learned is like the carpets have been like a little obsession lately of mine for sure.
They're a lot of fun. Good garbage disposals.
Oh yeah, that too.
And they
now, have you done like chicken legs or anything like that for your carpets?
Yeah.
You've gone to that extent?
Oh yeah, I've done quail, I've done chicks, I've done parts, drumsticks. Yeah, they'll eat it.
Because I'm doing ASFs, and that's what I want to. Because I do from Fuzzy Acres. I do an order, and I want to get some birds and try to do some birds. Because that's one thing I see them in the trees all the time. So that's my thought. I was like, well, are you mainly eating like a pheasant type deal? Or are you eating more, poultry? Should I say birds flying and
so
on the ground?
Cockatoos are on the menu naturally. Budgies, little types of parrots and birds out there are naturally prey items. So are, they have their own species of rats and marsupials and opossums and things like that too. But yeah, definitely they're eating birds. In my freezer, I've got various sizes of chickens and quail and stuff. And honestly, if you ever decide to breed carpets, it's a nice tool to have in your freezer. But sometimes you get a baby that's what they want is a damn quail.
That's what my thought was too. That was the second thought was like the babies they're not used to ASFs, and that's one thing I've kind of heard is you want to try a poultry, like quail for the babies because it's going to be hard. Same thing with hognose. It's hard to get them to just go right to mice because they naturally want the frogs.
Yeah. I haven't bred rough scales before, but my friend Glenn, he produced a clutch of rough scales and they're all preferring to start on live day-old button quail to get going started at first.
See,
so yeah.
And I know some species people are having to do like lizards and geckos and shit because of that as well.
Oh yeah.
Start them right on mice or anything like that.
I bred children's pythons 7 years ago, and half of the clutch took to pinkies without any cross scenting. Some of them just took a little longer, but I found that 3 of them instinctually happily ate for me when I I was so frustrated with them not eating in any single way that I just decided I was going to pick them up and just like poke them in the face with the rodent and piss them off until they had no choice. They couldn't go anywhere, and this thing isn't either, so figure it out. And they weren't doing it, and so then I had some gecko shed. I wrapped the pinky in gecko shed, re-dipped it in the hot water, and was dangling the snake, and came up, and it grabbed it and wrapped it up. And I was like, I don't know what I just did, but that just hit a couple of instincts and you just fired off. And I went and did the same procedure 2 more times and it worked. So, I mean, it makes sense. They definitely have a preference for gecko prey in the wild. And if you wash off the rodent scent on a rodent and then wrap it in gecko shed.
Yep.
So
that natural instinct, we can't stop it no matter what. Even though we're doing this in captivity, the natural is going to come out eventually.
Yeah, I mean, over generations, you'll selectively breed, out that pickiness without really meaning to. But yeah. So
I like it.
Yeah, it's just the same reason why hognose are pretty good at eating rodents these days. Years ago, they were notoriously stubborn for frogs.
Yep.
Yep. When's the next show that you're going to be doing?
That's a good question. I don't have a ton of babies right now, honestly. I only have like a handful of snakes available until this year's wave hits the ground. So, as much as I want to do like Scottsdale's All-American Plant and Reptile Expo again, and a few others, I want to do as many as possible. I've got to have animals for sale in order to do so. So I don't think the next one I'll be doing is until probably July, Pomona. It'll be cutting it close with babies even then. So, but yeah, after July, I should have my hands full of babies. If everything goes the way it's looking right now, I'm going to be hitting some serious numbers of babies this year. So
good luck. Good luck.
Come on.
Thanks. That's the goal. The goal is to have over 200 babies this year.
Let's go.
Do you go to just hang out at any shows?
Sometimes, yeah. Actually, lately I have. There's a few smaller shows around here that like I wouldn't necessarily vend because there's probably not the audience for carpet pythons per se there. But I'll still go because I know friends and other folks that are vending there, or like the Herp Society's there, or I'll just go for fun to hang out and see what's there, walk around. Yeah, last time I went out to like this small Lodi fair, it's just like 40 minutes down the road, and threw some beers in my backpack and an ice pack in there and just walked around with a couple beers and had a good old time and just hung out with some cool reptiles and then called it a day. So I actually, now that I have been vending a little bit more, I do miss the freedom of just hanging out at a show and not being beholden behind a table. You know what I mean? As fun as it is making money and talking to people and sharing snakes and all that good stuff, there's definitely fun to be had in the exploration and just hanging out of a show too. So
yeah,
I need to spend more time indulging in that side of it. I think that'd probably be good for my psyche. Have some more fun instead of less, just all work.
Then you get to like meet more, like you could use that time to meet more new people that you don't normally get a chance to talk to, but you see on a regular basis as well, and kind of get to know more people that are in it. That's what I like about it, is going and doing the social part is my favorite part of it all.
Yeah. I would like to travel a little bit more this year if I can budget it, that would be great.
Right.
Like I think for shows, I'll probably stick to the West Coast unless I, grow to a point where it makes sense and I want to try that. But as far as like just going, to visit, I think this will be the year where I start doing more of that.
Heck yeah. Heck
Because
yeah.
I've never been to Tinley. I need to go see Tinley. There's a lot of shows in Florida that I want to see,
Oh
like
yeah,
Daytona.
got to.
I want to see, although it's no longer at Arlington, I've heard it's still okay, not as good, but the Dallas NARBC show. So yeah, I'd love to get out and see more because obviously, you know, that's the beautiful thing about the reptile hobby is we've got friends all over because
Mhm.
everything's everywhere. So
Yep.
it's, you know, you just hop on a plane and you're probably gonna have some friends there where you land. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool.
And Daytona's a blast. We turn up for sure. That's one of the fun ones. That's a vacation one for a lot of breeders.
Yeah, I hear it's a good time. I hear it's a
It
lot
is.
of fun.
It's
And it's
definitely.
got so much history behind it, you know, with all the
Yep.
the OG Florida heads from the 80s.
Yep.
Pretty
Yep.
cool. Pretty cool.
Coach said let's go together in October 10th. So there you go.
Yeah, there's enough time for me to
Come on.
plan that. That's easy. You want to go, Coach? Yeah, let's do it, bro. I mean, I was out in his neck of the woods in Arizona in November, so I think it's only fair that he has to travel now.
Yeah.
Right.
Although that's a little bit further than a 10-hour car drive, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's a little drive.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. That
A
was a
couple
fun drive.
days.
I'm normally like 2 to 3 hours, and I'm over it in the car. I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of this thing.
Yeah. I just, as long as I got good music and podcasts, I can usually psych myself into it. But that was the longest single shot car ride I've ever done.
10 hours, yeah.
Yep,
That's
10
a long
hours.
drive.
I took two stops, one for gas, one for food, and kept it moving.
Mm.
Come on.
Kept it moving. Yeah.
Yep. So, what about y'all? When are you guys doing shows next?
Next show that I'm gonna probably do would be in Bob's next show, not the one this weekend. I'm just gonna go and hang out, but the next time he does it in the summertime.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
that's the
SCR.
yeah, that
so
one.
SCRE.
Yeah. I hear that one's a lot of fun too.
It
Heck
is.
yeah, it is. Heck yeah.
That's cool.
Bob definitely did a turnout on that event. That thing's sweet. I like it.
Cool. Glad to hear it. I mean, if there's going to be shows coming onto the scene with how many there are currently, they might as well, you know, do something different and go big. So do it proper.
Right.
Mhm.
But me, if anything, if I've been this year, it's going to be one show, and it's going to be our local Jacksonville show. And I'll do it with like me and Patrick will probably split a table and just vend it. You know, he can put some on, I can put some on. But I try to do mainly as much as I can. Like I said, I like to go to do the social. So when I go to all the local Florida shows, I'm sociably. That's what I'm doing. You know, chit chat, right out in the parking lot, got my green tea. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, especially with such a strong online market. You know, and yeah, like I get it. You know, I've got a friend. It doesn't make sense for him to do a ton of shows. He'll do the local ones and Pomona, but otherwise, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because they just move so well online. So it's just
Right.
kind of the nature of the beast.
And that's kind of like my goal is either some online or I got like a lot of pet shops around here that I could even wholesale to for some of them as well. And one of them's got a pet shop I grew up with, so I know I can reach out to him. It isn't like I'm going to make a shit ton of money. I ain't trying to make a shit ton of money. It's just here. I don't need the space. Here, take these, get rid of them. You know.
Yeah.
Go to the next, move on with the new, and out.
Cost of freeing up space, fewer
Yep.
mouths, clean.
Out with the old, in with the new, pretty much. You know.
Yep. I hear it.
12 hours. Jeez, Chris. There ain't no way, man.
Yeah, be safe, be safe, be safe.
That's a long one.
I'll see you Saturday. With that, we're gonna call it a show. So what socials do you have, Riley?
Everything's gonna be under Riley's Reptiles. That's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, my website, rileysreptiles.com. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it.
Same.
I think that's about it. But yeah, I'm easy to find, and I always encourage people to hit me up if they have questions. Always happy to answer. So
Come on.
Nice, nice. So that's anything you want to say before we take off?
I just appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you for a good chat. It's always fun talking snakes with folks. And yeah, I think if anybody is even on the fence about carpet pythons, do a little dabble into it, because I think you'll find that they're pretty fun. They're worth exploring. They're cool snakes for sure.
Facts. Big facts.
All right. Justin, anything you want to say, bro?
Like I tell everybody, be kind to one another. Thanks all the chats for coming out. Riley, it was definitely nice meeting you, seeing all the carpets, man. I can't wait to see some of your poplin stuff you're going to produce this year. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on you. So come on.
We'll have to have you back on after hatching season.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. You know how to find me.
Definitely. Everybody that's traveling to Sear this weekend, man, y'all be safe. Y'all be safe. Especially out there with this weather is crazy right now. I know Raleigh don't got to worry about this cold front that came with the snowstorm and all that.
Yeah, it's just 50 and windy here. I'm not even gonna mention it. It's nothing.
So I know Chris probably got some snow in Pennsylvania, so I know you feeling it, bro. You probably got about a good 2 inches or something like that. I feel for you. Feel for all y'all, but y'all know what's good. Get those flowers out, get those smiles out. Call your peoples. Don't call them just because they hatched out that new carpet clutch and they got this new diamonds. Don't do that. Call them because it's the right thing to do and get the fuck off my phone. Y'all have a good night. We are out.